Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Let's Talk with Mike. This week, as I told you last week, I wanted to talk to you about the good and the bad about being self-employed. Since I have been self-employed for more than 25 years, I would say almost 30 years, and I'm 56, so I tried a lot of things. Since I didn't try only one thing. I had a restaurant, I did some invention like you can see on my previous video. So I did a lot of things. You know, there, like in everything else, there's the good and the bad. Let's start with the bad. Let's keep the good for the last. The bad is that you don't have any protection. So if you fell sick or something, an accident happened to you or anything else, well, you're just left to yourself. You don't have any protection, at least if you don't have insurance, because most of the time people that work for themselves, they have a very limited budget. They cannot, first of all, they cannot budget themselves. They have to live almost from day to day, from job to job. So it's kind of hard to budget yourself and have some kind of insurance, because this is a fixed price and you never know from one month to another if you're going to be able to pay your everything else. That's the worst case scenario. And for most people, they think that they wait before they work for themselves, because they think that they have to have $100,000 or more, and that's not really true. You know, you have to start at the basis. First, you have to start something that you don't have to rent a big space, a commercial space or something like that, because then you're already in the hole. And you never know. You could do the best market research. You never know if it's gonna work. So that's something to think about, you know. So you have to work first. Well, the best way to do it, to approach it, is to work first from your house. Secondly, limit the damage. Don't invest too much, because you never know what's going to work or not. So you invest the less amount of money that you can. So it's like I did. The thing that cost me the most was a store that I opened, I think it was in 2001, something like that. And I literally lost everything. It cost me over $25,000 just in a year and a half. That was my first and biggest mistake, because when I tried a restaurant, I did it from my house, imagine, only on delivery. I only worked like that. So I didn't have no cost overhead, you know. But when I had the store, it was we sell antiques and fancy thing, you know. Didn't work. I wasn't very well situated, so that was a negative. But why? I knew about it, but I chose this place anyway because of the price of the rent. That was crazy. You cannot think like that. So, like I said, it's hard. You have to limit the cost of your investment, because even when I did my invention, it cost me over $25,000 for nothing. First, maybe I wasn't patient enough. That could be a problem also. I'm not the kind of guy who's very patient, so things has to move very fast, because if they don't, I go to the other thing, you know. So that's the thing. I don't regret anything. Like I say, it's hard. It's hard to find yourself a niche that you can grow. It's very hard. The thing I found for myself with all the business I tried was landscaping, because the investment costs a minimum. It's hard. So, but the negative part, on the other hand, is that it don't cost much to do this, but it's seasonal. So over here, with the winter and everything, you only work 6 months a year. So that's another problem. So that's why I'm building barbecue today, you know. But even then, the market is limited always for the same reason, because of the big stores like Walmart and Costco and whatever you know. So that's the big problem. On the positive side, you work for yourself. You don't put money in the pocket of anybody else. So you do your own hours. You do so. That's a freedom that after almost 30 years I couldn't let go. Forget about it. It's something within me. And just after a few years, you won't be able to let go that freedom. There's no money in the world that would replace my freedom for the money. You know, I worked at one time in the 80s. I worked at a paper company. It was very well paid, but they would have given me $150,000 a year, and I would say, fuck it. Well, that's me. My freedom before the money. But like everybody else, you have to have some money to live on, that's for sure. But what I'm telling you is that I'm prepared to make some sacrifice just to have my freedom. That's what I'm doing. It's not everybody that could do it, because of the fact that many people, and most of the people, need security in their paycheck from one week to another so that they can budget themselves. But you know what? When I buy something, I pay cash. If I can't pay cash, I don't buy it. That's a lifestyle. That's a way of doing things. So it's not for everyone, but like I'm telling you, it's something I chose. And anyone who tries it for a couple of years won't be able to go back. That's a given. Forget about it. Once you try it, you can't go back. So that's the good and the bad, you know. And another good thing, you know, if I was working for somebody else, I wouldn't have got the liberty that I have. In 2011, all the way to 2012, I went for 4.5 months on an island in Florida. So if I was working for somebody else, forget about it. I couldn't have done it. But okay, like anything else, there's some negative. It cost me over $10,000. So when I came back, I had zip. I started all over again. But I don't mind. That's the price of freedom. Not for everyone, like I said. So there's up and down. And frankly, there were a lot of down spiral in my life because of this. But I deal with it. And I have another chance, is that I have a wife that is on the same wavelength that I am. She thinks like I do. So that's another reason I'm doing YouTube, to share all the things I did. Eventually go on a trip, 5 to 6 months a year, and share those trips we're gonna make, me and the wife. So guys, that's the end for another Let's Talk with Mike. I hope you enjoy. Isn't it that great? We're outside, just in front of my outdoor kitchen. Passion of my life. So see you next week. We're going to talk about something else. We're going to talk about the problem of publishing a book. I wrote a book, a big one, fictional, but based on true fact, historical fact. So we're going to talk about this. And so that's it for this week. Take care. See you next week on another Let's Talk with Mike. Take care, guys. Ciao.